Shalom bimramav, hu yaseh shalom, ose shalom, shalom bimramav, hu yaseh shalom. You can take your seats. Shabbat shalom. This week, as Sam is going to tell us all about tomorrow, we are reading from the Parashat Mikeitz, picking up in the middle of the Joseph narrative and moving it along. And in the Parsha, there's a verse about Joseph gathering the bounty that comes in the years of plenty. So if you remember the story, there's 7 years of famine, and then there's 7 years of plenty. No, other way around. Scratch that, reverse. 7 years of plenty, and then 7 years of famine. And in the 7 years of plenty, Joseph is gathering up all of the produce, all of the grain that they're going to store for the years of famine. When we look at the Torah, there's always a simple explanation for every verse, every part of the Torah. There's a simple explanation, and then when we look deeper, there's deeper sort of hidden meanings and interpretations that we can find. And so the Hasidim look at this verse, and instead of seeing this verse about just simply Joseph gathering things up, they find a deeper meaning. So they remind us that Joseph, just like all of our major characters in the Torah, represents the tzaddik. And in the Hasidic movement, the tzaddik is a big deal. The tzaddik is the person or the people who are doing such a great job of being good people and being good Jews and being devoted to God and praying and doing mitzvot and all of the things, that they kind of become like a channel for the flow of holiness that goes back and forth between us and God. They become like a vehicle for it. And then all of the people around them benefit from the sort of extra divineness that comes through them and with them. And anyone can be a tzaddik. All of us can strive to be a tzaddik. So it's attainable. But you got to work hard at it. And so the Hasidim remind us that Joseph is, in this situation, Joseph is the tzaddik. He's a metaphor, he's an archetype for the tzaddik, and he's gathering, okay? So what is this about gathering? What is the tzaddik gathering? So the Hasidim say that the tzaddik is gathering thoughts about God. The tzaddik is thinking about God and thinking sort of holy thoughts all the time. And that when the tzaddik does that, it helps to open up this channel where God can kind of flow in a little more easily through the Hasid thinking about God. So it's like anything else, right? If we think about something, we kind of bring it into the room, right? It's abstract, but it's not so abstract if we think about it. So the tzaddik is gathering thoughts, okay? And the Hasidim say, this is good. It's good to think about God. But if you aren't careful, if the tzaddik isn't careful, then the tzaddik might start to think about other things, less pure things, and then it lessens that flow of bringing God down to interact with us. So in order to be a tzaddik, you have to first learn how to focus your thoughts, how to discipline yourself to think about good things and helpful things, and to not think about the kind of negative things, which also any of us can do. We just have to work at it, right? Sometimes we get kind of stuck in thinking about things that aren't helpful to us to think about. But when we kind of practice, right, there are all kinds of ways that we can learn how to discipline ourselves so that we're thinking about the things that we're grateful for and the things that are beautiful in the world and ways to be helpful, right? And when we're doing that, that's like thinking about God. Okay, so the tzaddik is a model for all of us, right, for how to discipline our thoughts. And it's important, this teaching, especially now, because there's a lot of negativity in the world right now. There's a lot that has been difficult for us. There's a war still going on in Israel. We have felt a lot of animosity directed at us as Jews. And we're coming to the end of a year where we're not really ending on a high note the way we might hope to, right? At this time in the secular year, we kind of want to be looking back at the year and thinking about all the things that were great about it and hoping to carry that into the year to come. And it's harder than usual to do that. I think a lot of people talked over Hanukkah about that they really struggled to find the joy in Hanukkah that often we feel more naturally. We had to work harder at it, right? So this model of gathering thoughts, of intentionally focusing our minds on goodness, on gratitude, on God, is really important for us. Not so that, I mean, it's great if we all want to be a tzaddik and channel God into the world, but even if that's not an aspiration that we have, or even if we feel like that's a bit out of reach right now, it still can be a model for us, a guide for us. And we have a few weeks left in our secular year. And so we have some time to kind of start to gather positive thoughts, start to shift our mindset. Because the Hasidim also teach, and many of you may have experienced, that the energy that we put out into the world often comes back to us. And so if we end the year with negativity, with heaviness, with darkness, with fear, with anger, with grief, if that's what we're focusing on, we're going to carry all of that into the new year with us. But if we can try to just release some of it, not that it's going to go away, the war is not going to magically end, and we still are going to feel the pain of what's happened. But if we cannot focus on it so intensely, if we can shift our mindset and gather good thoughts instead, and try to hold that positivity as we work our way towards the end of the secular year and into the new year, hopefully we're going to bring positive energy into the new year with us. And in that way, we're kind of doing what the tzaddik is doing and channeling goodness and godness into the year that is coming, the secular year that is coming. So I want to wish you good thoughts in the days and weeks to come, that we might all participate in bringing a little more goodness into the world. So Shabbat Shalom. And we're going to take a moment to think about those who are in need of healing. So you'll find the prayer for healing on page 371 in the middle of the page. And we'll take a moment to share names for healing. So if you are thinking of someone who's in need of healing, of body, mind, or spirit, and you'd like to share the names, or if you're online and you want to share the names in the comments so that other people can wish you well and wish your loved ones well. And if you're in Zoom, Noah can read the names aloud for us. We'll say those names now, and then we'll join together in the prayer for healing. So if you have a name to share, please share it as I look your way. Sorry? Thank you. And Renee Sussman. So with all of them in our minds and in our hearts, in the middle of 371, we can sing together. Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.